Hello my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon. It's been almost a week since I've last seen you. We had a death in our family, and that kind of took the wind right out of my sails. And I wasn't doing much reading or thinking about filming it all. Anyway, a couple days ago I finally got back into it, and I read Forget Me Not by Stacy Willingham. Now, this wasn't my first book from this author. I'd read a couple others, gave them both 4 stars. So I was looking forward to getting an early copy of this one. This comes out, I believe, August 26th. And so yeah, I was excited to see what this one was about. So this is, like I said, spoiler-free review. So I'll tell you the plot synopsis and then share with you some of my thoughts. So this is about a woman named Claire. She's like 29 or 30 years old. And when she was really young, like 9 or 10, she lost her sister, Natalie. And Natalie had been 18 at the time. And from what they have pieced together, she was killed by an older man that she was sneaking around and seeing. At least that's what they think. And that man has been in jail for 20 plus years. So now Claire's kind of floundering. Like, she works this job, or she did work this job. She's a journalist. And she recently quit. She was kind of overlooked for promotion. She got kind of fed up, quit, was going to do freelance journalism, but that's not really picking up for her. It's kind of stale. So one day she gets a call from her dad, and her dad, it's like, so her parents have been divorced for 20 years. And he calls her up and he's like, listen, your mom broke her leg, and she broke a leg and like busted some ribs. Like, she's in hard shape. Do you think you could go home and spend some time with her and help her out? And she's like, well, I guess. Like, she hasn't been home in like 15 years. She left her small southern town, moved to New York like as soon as she could. But she's like, okay. She goes home, and she's got this weird relationship with her mom that we don't really understand why she seems this like annoyed and disinterested in her mom, you know? I kept kind of waiting for it to be explained more, but it really isn't. So she's constantly annoyed with this woman. And after being there like one day, she decides to leave. And because she overhears her mom on the phone with her dad being like, you shouldn't have called her, because her mom pieces together that her dad must have called her and asked her to come. So she's like, you shouldn't have done that. And like, she doesn't want to be here. So Claire's like, well, if she doesn't even want me here, I'm leaving. So she ends up going to this like vineyard where her sister worked the summer before she died. And when she's there, she kind of just went there to look around and sort of feel close to her sister. But when she's there, she learns that they're hiring, and so she takes the job. And that's basically the premise of the story. She ends up spending time on this farm, learning about the people that run the farm, and sort of piecing together her sister's final days and trying to figure out what really happened to her. And I was like, well, that's an interesting premise, and it is. I will say this book's very slow, which is fine. I don't mind a slow book. I quite often enjoy literary fiction. You know, I don't need a fast-paced book. But this one, it felt a bit repetitive to me, like in its slowness. It was just a lot of the same things repeated over and over again. And I just, like, it took me too long to read it, first of all. Like, it's 300 pages. It shouldn't have taken me very long to read it, but it did. I wasn't interested in it. I knew where it was going. I knew the whole time. We'd meet a character, I'd be like, oh, there was one twist toward the end that I didn't see coming, but other than that, like, I knew where it was going. And this character, she keeps saying, like, there's different things that keep happening, and she describes herself as like pushing her fingers into her eyes, or like jamming the palms of her hands into her eye sockets. And I'm like, girl, you are doing that. You are doing it too much. Why are you doing it so much? That said, like I didn't dislike it. It was just, it's probably going to be like a three, I guess. 2.5 or a 3. Just because it dragged and it didn't feel like it went anywhere that I wanted it to go. But I feel like if you've liked Stacy's books before, because those were slower too. Look, I don't mind a slow-paced book, and her books have been slower in the past, but they just worked better for me. This one just wasn't for me. But it might be for you. Like if you've heard this and you're like, oh, that still sounds good to me, check it out for sure. And I'll still be checking out Stacy's books in the future, the next time I hear of one coming out, because I do like her books, but this one was just a bit of a miss for me personally. Anyway, that's about gonna do it for me for today. I'm still kind of just trying to get my groove back in terms of reading. I've got the new Stephen Graham Jones book, the double book with The Killer on the Road and The Babysitter Lives. Can't wait to read that. I've got to start reading Cujo, or rereading Cujo, because my friend Chris and I are recording the next episode of our podcast on Thursday. I haven't even started that yet, so I got to get to it. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good weekend, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.